In order to create this speech, I had to do something that I swore I would never do again. Watch Captain Marvel's Captain Marvel movie. I know this sounds extreme, but I truly think that the movie, along with some other female-led blockbusters that have come out recently, are not only bad movies, but actually detrimental to the minds of young girls. Diving right in, let's analyze Captain Marvel's character traits. One of the most negative aspects of Captain Marvel's personality is her cocky, belittling humor. Now you might say, hold on, Aaron, are you really going to talk about cocky behavior when the king of cockiness, Tony Stark, is getting away with it? But that's the thing. Does Tony Stark get away with it? The writers of Captain Marvel tried to make her seem more commanding and relatable by making her seem arrogant, almost like Tony Stark, yes. The thing that they forgot, though, was the fact that it's the cocky part of Tony's personality that often causes him the most trouble. It does not gain him respect. By the end of his first movie, though he's still not perfect, we see considerable growth in maturity in Tony's personality. Though he's still very snarky, he knows that it's his undoing. We get no such growth from Captain Marvel in either of the films that she appears in. Next, let's talk about Captain Marvel's flaws. Oh wait, she doesn't have any. Traditionally, it's a superhero's personal flaws that hold them back from their true potential. At first, for Steve Rogers, it was his physical size. He tried and tried, but no one would recruit him to the army because he was simply too small. The personal flaw holding new, now tough and buff Steve Rogers back 70 years in the future was his 1940s morals in a morally corrupt world. He had to learn to adapt himself while still keeping his strong moral compass and excellent fighting form. There are no females, or any person for that matter, that's perfect. But I look at Captain Marvel and I wonder, what are her flaws? The movie tries to argue the fact that she's held back by the people around her. But all the way through the movie, her arrogant personality begs to differ with this. She has no problem doing what she wants to do. She has no flaws, and therefore can have no development. There's a really big difference between the statements, "You're perfect the way you are," and "You are perfect." The way that Captain Marvel is just so innately good at everything seems almost insulting to me rather than empowering, because as an athlete, I know that even with a certain natural talent, work ethic and lots of training are required to actually become good at something. The whole, if you stop listening to the people putting you down, then you can just do it attitude is a dangerous attitude to have. While it's certainly good to have the initiative to work on a certain aspect of your life and pursue what you want to, it's nearly impossible to become perfect at something by only putting your mind to it. Mastery of a craft requires putting your mind to it and practice. Believing in yourself is only one of the aspects of success. Captain Marvel has no progression in her powers. Though the Kree put a device on her that stunts her powers, she has no trouble controlling them once she's free of the device. There's no trial and error process, there's no learning curve. She just simply becomes the most powerful Avenger. Lastly, and perhaps the most notable thing that's missing from Captain Marvel's character is a willingness to sacrifice her well-being for the benefit of others. This is a trademark characteristic of every other Marvel superhero. The Avengers are family. They fight for each other and the common good of the universe, no matter what the cost is to themselves. All of them were willing to die for each other, and in the end, several of them did die for each other. It was their drive to see others safe that motivated them throughout the whole franchise. Captain Marvel, on the other hand, had no such motivation. You would think that maybe her top priority would be to protect Earth because of her loved ones there, but she didn't think that it was that important as other universes. This simply doesn't fit into the story of the Avengers. As a standalone movie, perhaps it would have been fine, but to put it in the final Avengers film, the final film in which the family of misfits would be together, was so sad. It was her inability to don the nature of an Avenger, working with others for the greater good, that made her seem so out of place. And here we come to the root of the problem. Sadly, Captain Marvel is one of the many female roles in Hollywood that is being rushed to put on the screen simply for having more female representation rather than having good characters. It's so much easier to relate to the rest of the Avengers because, like them, I make mistakes. I don't try to wallow in my mistakes, I work through them, but I would rather watch an accurate representation of human than be forced to fed the idea that because I'm a woman, I'm a perfect human being, and all I need to do to realize my full potential is block out the outside noise and just do it. This takes away from all of the hard work that women have done up to this point to gain any recognition, and it's very disheartening. This is why, after today, I will never watch Captain Marvel again.